right, let's see if we can make this work. For some reason, it just kept cutting out. I was losing my stream from StreamYard. I don't know exactly what that's about, but it's very upsetting. But I'll just have to start over and just go back through it, and that's okay. We'll get it right. It's okay. I'll just deal with it. It's fine. So let me go back over here where I was, and I was talking about my this Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and is it possible that her mother was already bedridden before this even happened? Because I think the answer is yes. And I believe that's how that house became a hoarded up mess. All right, go away and quit. These things are quit. All right, there. Now, let's get our disclosure going before we do anything else for fair use. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. I just had to redo it. There's really nothing I can do when you have a StreamYard failure. And I know it happens to other people. I know it does. Here we go. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. This content is used for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Any copyrighted material included is used in transformative manner to provide analysis and public interest discussions. All rights belong to their respective owners. This content is not intended to infringe upon any copyright. If you are the copyrighted owner and would like your material to be removed, please contact me directly. Yes, don't hit me with a strike, just let me know. But I know that Into the Weeds has graciously given us permission to use their material, and I'm so thankful for that. All right, back where we were before we had our incident with our look at this internet circling. I wonder if our internet's having a problem today. That's so disgusting. Here we go. Let me pull this back up. Okay, we'll go back to where we were, Into the Weeds. There we go. Okay, now let's pull these pictures back up where we were. Bam. No, go away. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. You know, just part of the deals that we just deal with these issues when they come up over here on YouTube. There's real, I mean, StreamYard, because sometimes it's just not predictable, right? We just don't know when it's going to happen. We have no idea. All right, so let's kind of go back to where we were with these pictures over here. Now we're going to talk about Dee Dee. Come on, open up. Open with. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to come back and share my screen to show you these pictures that we're going to talk about right here. Share your screen. Here we go with the Volunteer Way. Now, these are all going to be pictures from Volunteer Way, which is their address, right? All right, there's the first one. Now, I want everybody to pay attention as we go to some very interesting things that I noticed. Well, number one, there's a cigarette butt. Who smokes over there? Anybody smoke? I don't think I don't think Gypsy or Nick did, so who was smoking over there? Number two, let's just go on. Interesting. I wonder if they tested that cigarette butt for anything. I hope they did. Let's go on. There's a lot of pictures of that. Now, pay attention to the driveway and pay attention to this yard, because I noticed there was other things in this yard that just did not make sense. Not the little flags, but anyway, we'll keep going. Okay. Notice, okay, there's some footprints right there, but, okay. What is this? We don't know what that is. It looks like somebody threw something down. We're just not sure. They think it's some kind of evidence. Look at the tire tracks on the yard. What are these tire tracks from? I want to know who was driving on the yard, because there's clearly tire tracks on the yard in these pictures. All right. Look at that right there. This looks like, I'm going to tell you what this looks like. This looks like one of the tie downs that was seen on the bed in the house that I believe was used to secure Dee Dee to the bed. I really believe it was, because I'm going to show you a picture in a minute. It's going to show you this. Okay. Bottle cap, bottle cap. Okay. Going to the back door. Look at this house. All right, let's talk about this house for a minute. Oops. Look at this hoarded up house over here. It's a damn mess. I don't know. I don't believe this house looked like this whenever Dee Dee could maneuver. I just don't think it did. I believe that Dee Dee was extremely ill, and I believe that Gypsy stopped doing anything at all. If her mother didn't tell her to do it, she wouldn't do it. Okay, see that circle? What is that circling thing right there? Don't do that. Okay. Anyway, I believe without her mother telling her to do something, she just never did it. Okay, so we'll go back and keep looking. Now, watch this. There's no way that if even if Gypsy was looking for things before she was packing up to leave with Nick, there's no way she did all of this house to this house in 2 days. It didn't happen. It looks as if because other neighbors talked about they would go over there to watch movies and things, and the house would be spotless and clean. They did not see the house this way. All right, here we go. So Gypsy, it would make sense that if Dee Dee could no longer get out of the bed and clean up or take care of anything, it would make sense as to why it looks like this, right? Because Gypsy, we know, is lazy and would not do anything unless she's told to do it. Let's keep going here. I'll show you some other things. Look at this kitchen. Now, you want to tell me when the last time something was actually cooked in that kitchen before the incident happened and they ran off? Because when you look at these pictures, you will see there's no way anything could have been cooked in this kitchen. There's boxes of stuff everywhere. Look at these wheelchairs over here. Nobody's using these wheelchairs. There's shit piled all in them. Here's the Christmas tree and it was June. What's going on here? Right? Look at this closet. What is all that? I mean, where and then one of the neighbors talked about, oh, there was a classroom. There was some kind of at-home classroom somewhere in this house. Well, where is it? Look at these piles of clothes everywhere. When is the last time somebody did laundry? What is all that shit? Look at this. Hoarded up mess. Cans of things not opened. I mean, ugh. You can see the layers of dust on the stuff over here. How long had Dee Dee been so ill she could not clean this house? That is the question that I have. And is that why it was so easy for Nick to jump on top of her and actually do what he did? That's another question that I actually have. Was she that ill? Look at this. I want you to look very carefully. Look at the layers of dust on the backs of these right here. They were not being used, and how long had they been sitting there in that bathroom floor? Remember, she said, oh, I huddled up beside the commode over there in the bathroom so I didn't have to hear. That's where Nick told me to go. Bullshit. You're either sitting in cat shit or you're sitting in a clothes basket. That's a lie. Now we know that that is all a lie. There's no way she was in that bathroom sitting down with her hands over her ears because there was no place for her to sit down. That is a large wheelchair filled with dust and been sitting there for days, months, we don't know how long. Well, let me ask you another question about this. If this wheelchair looks like this and things are not, there's no way you can use anything in that bathroom with all the stuff in the way. When's the last time the bitch took a bath? Was she bathing at all? Or was she just, freewheeling it, not doing anything to take care of herself? That's the question I have as well. Keep looking. Look again. Okay, I'm going to show you something else here in just a minute. You see this cup right here? That's Pepsi. There's Pepsi in that cup right there. How long had that Pepsi cup been sitting there? Okay. I'll show you something else that I thought was interesting too in just a second. There's that nasty hoarded up bedroom. I just don't know, what was she doing all day? Was she sitting on Facebook? What was she doing all day that stopped her from picking up anything in this house? Now this is Dee Dee's bed, and sadly, trigger warning, they've got her face blacked out, but this is actually, her, I believe, in the bed. So we're going to move on from that. But I'm going to show you something else about this in just a second. Here we go. You're telling me that Dee Dee was able to get out of the bed and walk around this room with it looking like this. No way. There's no way that that was happening. Dee Dee was not able to maneuver in that house. It was too hoarded up. So I'm telling you, I think Dee Dee spent all day in her bed. I really do. There's no way she could get around. Look at this. Look at the layers of dust here on this dresser. Look at the layers of dust on top of this safe. Look at the layers of dust everywhere. this tells me from all of this right here, nobody was moving around that room. Dee Dee was not up moving around this room. No, there's no way she could have. She was not getting clothes out of these drawers. What was happening to Dee Dee? Was she just laying in a bed being completely abused, neglected? We don't even know that Dee Dee was even getting her mother anything to eat. We have no idea because it looks to me like there's no way anybody did anything for anybody in this house. It could not have happened. Okay, sadly, I know. Let me kind of get past this picture over here. Hang on. Move on to the next one. All right. Now go on down here. Sorry, guys. I don't really want to show, I want to get past those. Hang on a second. I don't really want to show those. So here, we'll just go over here to this one. All right. Now, start looking at the doors. Now, I want you to pay attention to this right here. Because, okay, you see all this medicine right here in these little bottles? Let me tell you what that medicine is. I looked all these medicines up. They are seizure medications that she was supposed to take twice a day. And they were being put in her feeding tube is what they were doing with this. This is seizure medicine that was prescribed to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So apparently, was she still having seizures? But she's not admitting to having seizures because we know that she did have a seizure disorder. She had a seizure in the middle of a procedure when she was 6 years old, and that's how she ended up in the wheelchair. She has already told us this. Okay, keep going over here. This is inside that little building, okay? I want you to look around at the things inside that little building. A little baby doll, a little baby bed thing. There's no mattress there. She was not sleeping in there. That's not true. There's no way. Little toys, come on. This is the cleaning materials that Gypsy was using to clean the house after the incident, thinking that she could get away with it. Here we go. I don't know whose hat that is. Keep watching. Look at this mess. Now, I'm going to go to the next picture over here. Is it down here? Maybe it's the next one. Hang on. No, not that one. Oh, no, not that one. There is a picture up here where if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see in the corners all kinds of disgusting dirt, etc. Why is that house that dirty? How long had it been since Dee Dee was able to do anything? I mean, it's atrocious. It really is. Look right here. Here's a little hat, like for some cosplay thing, right? She's playing like she's an animal. She's talked about liking that. Okay, I'm gonna get past these. I don't want to show those. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. What are we doing here? Hang on. Oh no, we don't want to see that. Okay, that's the gloves. That's the gloves from the people who are. Okay, now let me show you something else right quick. It's in the next picture, I think. Hang on. No, don't show me those. I don't want to see them. All right, there's her computer. There's the laptop. I understand the laptop was stolen, right? Was it? I don't know. Here we go. I got to get past these guys. I'm so sorry. Um, hmm. There's some pictures over here. Let's get past that. Get past that. I don't want to see that. Sorry, guys. Trigger warning, trigger warning. Get past them. Here we go. Come on. I know it's here. All right, come on a minute. There are some pictures down here. I gotta let it catch up. We're going too fast. Hang on a second. Now, let me get these pictures over here for you. I mean, look at that layer of dust right there. It's incredible. It's incredible. Look at that. Who touched all this? Nobody. So what the hell is going on there? Okay, this is from their computer. But there's also, okay, look over here. All right, now, I know this is gross, trigger warning. Where would Gypsy have fit when she said she crouched down by the commode? She did not do that. That is a lie. And look at the layers of dirt. Who was actually using this restroom? It's just so shocking. There's no way anybody was living in that house like a normal person. It was not happening. Again, there's this little cup of Pepsi. Right there. That's Pepsi. You can see it's kind of bubbly, I guess. I don't know. Now, we're going to come across something here in just a minute. And I was like, you got to be, okay, look at all the wipes and stuff. So remember Gypsy's telling us, or telling people, that she actually was using the towels to clean her ass, right? No, her mother was using those baby wipes and doing it for her, because also in the bathroom is a stack of damn diapers. I don't think Dee Dee was wearing the diapers, do you? I mean, I don't know, but I don't think so. There's the house, you know. Now, let's talk about this right here. This is blood splatter, okay, on the wall. This is in Dee Dee's room. That's where that's from. How did that blood get right there? Anybody know? Because I'd like to know that question. This is in Dee Dee's room. There's some cleaning fluid. Okay, wait a minute, go back. This is the cleaning fluid, all right? There's some more of those wipes, and there's bags from Disney, etc. You know, let me show. Hold on a second, guys. Now, just keep looking at these pictures. You'll be going, this is not making any sense at all. None of this house makes any sense. What's really going on over there? All right, hang on. Look in there. This is under the bed. There's a heating pad and some more wipes. I believe this is Dee Dee's bed. And then here's Gypsy Rose, all the boxes of information about her when she was little, and you know, just things that they were her mother's collection of things about Gypsy. Here we go. All right. Now, I'll go back over here. Here we go. Yeah, all right. Nobody listening to music anymore? How many days was that sitting there? This is little blood spatters on the floor. That's what that is blood. And Gypsy thought she cleaned it all up, didn't she? I guess she didn't. All right, let's keep going here. These are some interesting pictures, and I'm so glad that Into the Weeds decided to share them with us. Hang on. There's some more blood splatter on the floor. Look at the mounds of dust everywhere. Some more, pictures of the blood. Blood on the counter. How did the blood get on the counter? Oh, stop. No. Go away. Look at these baking supplies. Remember she said something about baking something? I don't believe she baked anything in that house. There's no way. It was too filthy. How could you cook anything in this house? Is that just an excuse that she used for something else? I don't know. Blood splatter on the, look, this is blood right there. How did the blood get way up there? What is going on here? Are they slinging the knife around after the fact? Who knows? It makes no sense. Why is there blood right there? Was there blood on Gypsy's hand, Gypsy's clothes, Gypsy's anything? Is that how the blood got there? I don't know. But it makes no sense at all for her to sit there and say that she didn't go in that room, because I believe she did go in that room. Who's doing laundry? Nobody. See that? Nobody. What happened to the cat that was there? She just turned the cat loose out in the, just run off or whatever? What happened to that cat? Where would Dee Dee go in the living room and sit down and watch TV? She wouldn't. There's no way. Dee Dee spent her time in her bed, because that's the only place she could be, because I believe she was so ill she could not maneuver around. No, I don't believe she could. Looking at all this crap over here. Look at this wheelchair again, just sat there, dust layers so tall that nobody used that. And look at here. There's the telephone. Let's see. How could anybody sit in this chair right here with all the shit in front of it, right? Gypsy has a whole lot of explaining to do as to why this house looked like this. How many months had her mother been in the bed before she took her life? And here's the other question about this. Did she decide at that point Nick had to do this now because she could not put up with 20 more years of living in that house with it looking like this, and her mother only been able to lay in the bed and not do anything? I think I think Dee Dee was on her way down faster than Gypsy could. In fact, faster than Gypsy realized, because Gypsy I don't think Gypsy even helped her get a glass of water, to be honest with you. I believe that Gypsy just let her lay in that bed and ignored that she was even there. That's what I believe. Now, people might disagree with me, and that's okay if you do. I understand. But the only place that she could be was her bed. That's the point I'm trying to make. Look around. Look, just boxes of new stuff all over the place. Mm-hmm. Keep going here. Wipes everywhere. Why do we have wipes everywhere? What is that about? Why is there so many wipes in this house? They're everywhere. Okay, keep going. Just bags of trash everywhere. Why didn't they take the trash out, Gypsy? Why couldn't you take out the trash? Oh, that's right. Gypsy could do nothing. Her mother had to do it all. So disgusting. Look at this room. Bags and bags of clothes again. Things unopened. Her mother's little reading glasses. Poor thing. Those are not her mother's reading glasses. Those are the little fake glasses that Gypsy would wear when she needed to dress like a 9-year old or an 8-year old or a 12-year old that couldn't see. That's what that is. I'm sorry about that. Now, this is back in Dee Dee's room again. And I know this because of the bed frame. But you tell me how Dee Dee could walk around in this room. Look, how is she walking around her bed even? She can't. There's no way. Here's an EpiPen. This EpiPen was prescribed to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. A bunch of knives. I don't know where this is from. I guess it's from the kitchen in the drawers. Mm. It's almost like a hoarded house, but I would really like to talk to the neighbor because when the neighbor came on and said, "Oh no, that house was clean," we went over there for movie nights. I even found the calendar where she was planning the movie nights on what they were going to show in the next coming weeks on their movie nights. So, I mean, Dee Dee had tried to plan for future, but I don't think Dee Dee was. Okay, here's something else I'm going to show you in just a second. Just keep watching these because, oh, don't look at that. See this right here? See that big white spot? That is a pellet spot from where Gypsy shot at Dee Dee with a pellet gun. Those are pops on the walls from that gun. That is exactly what that is. Wish we had a picture hanging. Here's another one right there, and right there. So she might have hit her mother 10 times, but she also missed a lot as well. Now, this is outside on the day that they were doing all the investigating. We're back to the kitchen and the living room. Why is this computer out? Why is that computer over there plugged in? Why is that over there? Mm. Okay, I'm going to show you something else in just a second that I saw. And I'm like, good God. All right. I know we have to just kind of pick through these because when you come across it, I'll be able to describe it to you when I see it. Again, just bags and wheelchairs everywhere. What's going on here? Right? What is this? Just go. Let me see if we can get this to keep going. All right. Let me find the calendar right quick. Oh, I see it's trying to catch up. I'm going faster than the machine can go. That's the problem here. All right. We'll just keep going down here. Hang on. All right. Here we go. I think it's right up here. Now, I don't want to show that. I'm not going to show that. No, let's just keep going over here. Oh, boy. Find it over here. Okay, look. I think we're going to start right here. Here we go. Now, I believe that is all right. Notice right here. Right, notice what's right there. Fingernail clippers. What happens when Gypsy Rose Blanchard gets upset? She takes the fingernail clippers and she starts cutting her hair. Was she cutting her hair with those? Because that's Gypsy Rose Blanchard's wallet right there. That is her wallet, not her mother's wallet. There it is again. I guess they found a blood speck up there on the light switch. There we go. We're going to look at some more of these. Hang on, guys. There's that dirty ass bedroom. It's appalling. I mean, Ken Urker, do you not see how Gypsy Rose Blanchard lives? Look at it. Look, Ken Urker, look at it closely. Look at this. This is the woman that had your child. You made a baby with this woman. You going to make some more babies with her? I hope not, because your baby's room's going to look like this someday. I swear to God. I swear to God. Okay, we move past these because we saw those. Go back over here. Okay, let's go further down. There is this pictures of the walls where there is, you can count the damn pellet holes that are in the dang walls from when she was shooting at her mother. This little witch, which is exactly what she is, I mean, it's unbelievable how nasty she really is. Wait till you see the pictures. Let me find them again. Hang on a minute. When they took the sheets off her bed, that was disgusting as hell. I gotta find it again. Hang on. Boy, this thing's just moving kind of slow, right? Hang on a second. There was, I mean, look, we're talking about old clothes left in the wash. Look at this piles of dirt. Nobody's using that wash machine. Stop it. No, nobody's used that. Here we go. Why is there a stuffed animal in the wash machine? It's a Mickey Mouse. What's in there? Why? Did you get blood on it too? Look, see the paw right there? I hope they pulled it out and took pictures. Or maybe she washed it and to get the blood off of it. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll keep looking at these. It's quite disgusting, actually. You got to wonder how do you live like this? I don't get it. Here's what I wanted to show you. Look right here. Look at this. Look at the piles of dirt in this floor. How long had this stuff sat there? How long, Gypsy? How long had your mother been in the bed, not able to do anything, and you just running them up, doing whatever you wanted to do, not picking up anything, just making a holy hell mess, like made the house look like quarters lived in it? How long, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? That is the question that we all have. Because this proves right here that your mother was not able to take care of you or that house or herself. Was she? Just go ahead and be honest about it, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, because we know the truth already. It's in the pictures. You can see it right here. How long did it take you to hoard this house this bad after your mother could not get up and help you and do anything? How many months had it been that that your mother laid in that bed and was unable to do anything? How many months? This is it's a relevant question, and I know you know the answer, but guess what? You'll never tell us the answer, will you? You won't tell us the answer ever. So I guess that's their little broom closet thing. It's the air conditioner. Mm-hmm. Boy, look at that. There's a broom, but I don't think it's ever been used. What about y'all? No, I don't think so. Mm. When there's dust on top of the cleaning products, that tells you another thing, doesn't it? It's unbelievable how nasty this house is. Gypsy, how long did it take? It's okay. Go ahead and answer us. We know you can, but you're not going to. You're going to ignore us, right? You're going to say, my mother did all of that, aren't you? Of course you are, because that's what people like you do. You lie. I often wonder. Remember, she went to the hospital that time because Dan was in the hospital. Was her mother already sick then? Was she feeding her mother pills to make her mother stay asleep all the time? We don't know. We'll never know that, will we? I know they didn't use that vacuum cleaner. So she gets it down to 72 right there. Here we go. Pepsi's everywhere. Family dinner program, the Ronald McDonald House. Right. Gypsy. Let's talk about the Ronald McDonald House right now. Let's talk about this, okay? How come you never want to admit that you two were homeless when you were staying at that Ronald McDonald House, and when they figured out you never had any appointments, they kicked you out? Now, I'm not going to blame your mother for taking you to the Ronald McDonald House. I'll tell you why. She had no place to go. She did not have the money to take you to a hotel or anything because she was doing the best she could do with what she was provided. Okay? You just go ahead and admit the truth. Tell the truth, Gypsy Rose. Tell the truth about what was happening in your life. She was not abusing you. She was in a situation. Okay, so I'm telling you, there's wipes all over this house. When is the last time you touched any of these things? What do you do? Play with it once and throw it down? Typical, right? It's so sad and disgusting. Mm. Get to this calendar here in just a minute. I just don't think that I don't think that Dee Dee wanted her child to live like this. I just can't believe it. No. I don't believe any mother would want their child living like this. Somebody had been to the store. I don't know who, but somebody went and bought some bananas and some crackers at some point. Was that all your mother could hold down because she was sick? Was she sick all the time? Is that what's going on here, Gypsy? Why don't you go and tell us? You're not going to, are you? Mm-mm. Or did Nick bring in the crackers? Who knows? We don't know. We'll just keep looking at these for a second. Hang on. Looky here. There's your mother's bank card and her ID. You didn't take that with you? Just go ahead and steal something else from her? Wow. Look at this. Now, I found this to be interesting. This was on Monday, June the 8th. Remember, she did the deed on June the 15th. Thank you. Let me see if I can get this to pull back down. Thank you for choosing Cox Health South for your care today. It says the examination treatment you had, it says you received in the emergency department has been rendered on an emergency basis and are not intended to be a substitute to provide complete medical care. You should contact your physician for a follow-up. So I can read the rest of this. And report any remaining problems to your physician, right? Gypsy Rose Blanchard will call for an appointment June the 8th, and it was care of feeding site, care of feeding tube site. What happened that day? Did you go get it changed? What the hell? At any time, she could have said, I don't need this feeding tube anymore. At any time, she could have said that, but she didn't. At any time, she could have got up and walked out of that house, but she didn't. She's 23 years old. My mother had a hold on me. No bullshit. You enjoyed being like what you were. You got the benefits of being what you were. It has nothing to do with your mother. There was no abuse by your mother. No, you stop that mess. We're tired of hearing it. The Into the Weeds FOIAs have proved everything that you said is a lie. And now they're releasing, okay, listen, they're going to release this book again as a paperback, but there's no corrections. It's the same old book full of lies. That's what it is. Nothing was changed. That vacuum cleaner hasn't been used in forever. Look at it, dust on it. Mm-mm. No way. And more Pepsi's everywhere. Keep looking here for a minute. There's the cleaner that she was using. I mean, this was a nice house that they had. It was a nice house. Why wasn't it? I guess she was taking care of it. And let me show you something else here. Look what this says. Something catheter tips. Who had a catheter, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Was your mother so sick she had a catheter? Is that what was going on here? Please tell us, because this is from Kansas City. Remember, there's a video a few weeks before this where I'm sorry, we were in Kansas City. I can't show you because what I'm wearing is ridiculous. Y'all remember that video? Because I remember it. Here we go. Who had a catheter, Gypsy Rose? Was it your mama? I think so, because she was that ill. Okay, we'll keep going on with this. Care of the feeding tube. They took a whole lot of pictures, didn't they? They did. I mean, this crime scene was really, really They had every piece of information they could get, I guess. Look right here. Do you see this big stain right here? Was she trying to clean blood up there too, or was that something else? Who knows, right? All right, let's talk about this ring right here. You see that ring on the floor right there? Is this the ring that she bought for herself, or for so she could be engaged to Nick? Is it? We don't know. But look at that ring right there. Meant nothing. It's thrown on the floor. There it is. Got to get better view right there. Okay. Just keep going over here. Another picture of it right there. Wipes. There's wipes everywhere in this house, which is so weird, I think. Okay, we'll keep going over here. We've seen some of these already. They're kind of in a weird order. I think some of them kind of got duplicated, but I'm not sure. I'm afraid to mess up my stream again. Oh Lord. Nobody used that kitchen. Nobody has used that kitchen in how long, Gypsy? Oh, wait a minute. You know what's in the sink? Wait till I show you what's in the sink, guys. I found that to be disturbing. I'll show you in just a second. We'll just keep going till we find it. Look right there. She said, oh, I made some brownies. No, you didn't. Looky here. Do you see this right here? Do you see this? This is old molded oatmeal for God knows how long it's been sitting there. Where's the brownie pan? Where's the mixers? Where's anything that you cooked a brownie in? You lied. You told a lie. That was a big fat lie. All right? She lied. Mm-hmm. She didn't cook shit in that house. No way. Mm-mm. All right, we'll keep going over here. Mm-hmm. I think she can look at you and lie. And yes, I believe Shorty Pie is exactly right. I believe that Gypsy Rose Blanchard, from her micro deletion, is trapped at 15 years old. When you look at what she's doing today, and you look at all of this from way back when, it is the same. It's the same behaviors, the same patterns. It's just like Nick. He is trapped at 15 years old. I can tell you on the day they went to the interview, look at the dust sitting on all that. The day they were taken into the station and they did the interview, neither one of them thought they were going to get arrested. They thought they were just going home, that they just had to explain what happened and that would take care of it, and oh well, right? That is what they thought. But apparently they didn't understand the law, did they? But that is exactly what would happen to a 14, 15, 16-year-old person. See, they don't realize that this is serious, and they're going to be arrested, and they think, well, I'm only 15 or I'm only 16. They think they're not going to get arrested. Guess what? That's not true. Look at the old food in the rice maker. How long had that been there? That is so disgusting. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, how long had it been? You need to let us know, because we know now everything you said is a lie, including what you did afterwards, right? Because there's no way you did anything in that kitchen. I can tell you that right now. Now, let me go here and see if I can find. Okay, hang on a second. See, it looks like there's a bunch of duplicates on here. I'm not sure, but I know that when you get these FOIAs, how they come is like in this big zip file, and then you have to unzip these files, and it can be quite cumbersome and take a while for this to happen, to get them all out. So, see how it's still circling down there? Because there's more, right? Here we go. Now, let's take a look at this. All right. I wished I could see the dates on this, but I cannot. I don't think we can. Because I believe this is her mother's insulin right here in the refrigerator. I'd like to know when's the last time she got her prescription filled. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see if we can see this. 40 units. Let's see if there's a date on here, guys. Hang on. Call for refills, but I don't see an actual date on this prescription. Because I wondered myself, was she? Let me show you something over here. This prescription right here expired 11/6 of 14, but it was still there in the refrigerator. All right? All right. Let's see if there's anything on this one. Yeah. There is no, I don't know, there's no prescription date for me to look at. I would like to know because that's another thing I wonder about. Was was Dee Dee to the point that she could not even get her medicine refilled or go, because she was not able to get anywhere. I don't know. I don't know when she bought that car, but I know that car was relatively new. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Keep looking over here. Well, is that grapes in the freezer? That's wild. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I don't know who does that. I don't know. Who puts grapes in the freezer? I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I don't really know. But anyway, we'll just keep looking over here. Well, there's her vampire right there. Mm-hmm. More of that blood in the floor. All right. Let me see. Go down here. Now, let's go back down here a little bit further. Let me see if I can find that little, I think it's right over here. Okay, let's look at this right here. This is a relatively new laptop that somebody got. Remember, she said her laptop got stolen and then she got a new one? All right, there you go. There's the box. It's a new box. I mean, we don't know the date on it, but she did have a new computer. So the other computer looked all dusty. I don't believe that was the computer that she was using. I believe she was using the brand new one. So here we go. I don't know whose bag that is. Let's keep going. There's those nasty glasses again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hang on a second. Yeah. I don't know what this book here is, but I'm going to bet that it has something to do with Gypsy's medical records right there. That's what I believe this book is. There we go. Okay, go back to her nasty closet. Little girl dresses. Here we go. Okay, let's get off of those and go back down here. Okay, hang on a second. Get over here to this calendar. This calendar is like right over here. Okay, this is where it messed up a while ago, I believe. All right. Look at these special shoes with her butterfly wings. Notice how Gypsy, look at the size of that shoe. You're going to tell me you were pretending to be 8 or 9 years old with that shoe size. That is a giant shoe. There's no way you look. That is about a lady's 7 or 8 size shoe, right? That's a big shoe. Now, what did you have to do to get those special shoes with those, supports right there? Who did you lie to for that? That's what I want to know. Did you lie to somebody to get those? Looks like you didn't even wear them after you got them. Just wasted money some other child could have used, don't you think? I think. Look at that. Look at that. Never used. A lady size 7 shoe. I don't think, oh, wow. That's incredible. Yeah, there you go. A lady size 7. Hmm. All right. Keep going over here. More paper, 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 paper. Look at that desk. Look at that cabinet over there. The dust is so thick. Poor thing. And it's no wonder she could not breathe in that house, really, if you stop and think about it, because there's dust mites and all that. Now, look, her medicine was so important. It's on the floor, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Why is your mother's medicine on the floor? Right? Okay. Mm. I'm going to ask y'all a question, too, and just be honest. If your mother was ill, would you let the house look like this? The answer's hell no. You would have cleaned up some. You would have, tried to help. You would have done something for your mother. But that's because you're not a selfish sociopath who only cares about herself. Did you see all the bottles of oxygen? Let me show you that. Did you see that? Hang on a minute, guys. Let's go back up. Because this is very telling right here when you come over here to all these bottles of oxygen. I got to find them again. Hang on a minute. Okay. Let me go up here and find these bottles of oxygen we just saw. Okay, it was up here with these papers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hang on a second. Now, there's outside of the trash can right there. And there's, whatever glove they used. I don't know what that is, but okay, anyway. Let's see what this is. Here we go. Now, this seems to be talking with your doctor at the American Cancer Society. Why do y'all have cancer paperwork in the house? Was somebody that actually really diagnosed with cancer? Because this does not look old. This looks new, Gypsy Rose. What was going on with your mother? Right? What was going on with your mother? Was she diagnosed with cancer and you just didn't want to tell anybody? Is that what's going on? Hmm? What's that about? Come on, Gypsy. Go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and tell us another lie about what was going on with your mother. Right? Go ahead. I want to find those bottles of oxygen. That was a lot of oxygen bottles in that house. Now, this is kind of interesting here. Here we go. Now, this is, they turn the lights off. They've got their light on because they are checking for fluids. That's right, fluids on the beds. Here we go. Remember, he raped me. Remember that? Here we go. Y'all watch carefully right here. There's the mattress. And again, this is a hospital bed. Wow, look how it lights up when the blue is on it. See those rails right there? I know it's a little bit hard to see, but see those rails? This is Gypsy's bed right here. That's her bed. Let me ask you something, Gypsy. How many men were you having come over there between the time your mother got so ill she did not know what you were doing and you got Nick down there to take care of the situation? How many men were over there? Come on, go ahead and tell us about it. Look at that nastiness. What were you doing, Gypsy? What were you doing? hmm Yeah, I know it's a little graphic, but let's get honest about it. Let's get honest about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, what she was doing, what was going on in that home, and the fact that her mother was so ill that she started running amok, did whatever she wanted to do, and did not care about her mother. She did not care what happened to her mother. As her mother lay in that bed, oh my God, that's what I think happened here. This is, I mean, there's how many months did it take her to hoard this house to this extent? That is my question. I wanted y'all to see this stuff because I thought it was very, very telling to come across these pictures and think back about all the things being said by the other people that knew them as a family and knew they did not live this way, but the house looks like this. Why? Somebody's breathing thing. It's an oxygen. This is a very expensive oxygen mask thing. I think it is the kind that recycles oxygen out of the air. I think that's what that is. I'm not sure. I don't know much about medical devices, but it kind of looks like one of those. Now, hang on a minute. Okay, now we're back to that. Get off of that. Go back down here. There was all the kitchen knives. Oh boy. There are thousands of pictures, guys. Thousands. Is this the cat you left behind? Is this the poor cat you left in that house? Right here. Gypsy, you didn't care about the cat? What are you doing? You just left it in the house with your mother? What's going on? Wow. I see you cared about your cat, didn't you? Just like you cared about the little baby dog that your husband got you. Right? You cared about that dog too, right? Yeah, you sure did. We saw you like it. We saw you care about it. You just left it there with Ryan. You don't want to take care of nothing. We can see that right now. You never wanted to take care of anything. You just want to do what you want to do, carefree, without any obligations to anyone. That's what you want to do. Because that is exactly what a 15 or 16-year-old child would do. That is exactly how they live. Keep watching these right here. I don't know if any of y'all have really looked at these pictures before because I know people, well, what is all that? Well, I'm not sure what it all is, but it does paint a real picture as to what happened in that house and what was going on in that house before poor Dee Dee had her life taken from her by those two monsters. Yes, Nick, I'll tell you something. I know that Gypsy talked Nick into it. I know that. I do. But in his own right, let's talk about Nick for a second. Nick Nick had his own issues, and Nick had talked about having a desire to great people, some other things that he had kind of talked about with Gypsy. These are things that were known, right? So he had his own issues and his own demons in his mind that he lived with every day. So I'm just saying that they are both monsters. I think that Nick deserves to not be in jail for the rest of his life. He should have got a better sentence. He should have got something equal to what she got. But both of them should be in a mental hospital. They are both very dangerous people. They're dangerous to us out here. Now you notice there's little blood spots that they're taking pictures of, on all these furnitures, from the splatter, which is disgusting. And I hate mentioning it, but it is real. Okay, so there's those clippers again. Hang on. Now I want to go find those. Okay. Now look at this. This is her mother's money bag where she had all of this money saved. Come on. Okay, there's her mother's money bag. But we're going to keep going over here. Let me show you something. Her mother was not Her mother knew exactly how much money she had because she counted them. She had 39 100s, she had 12 20s, she had 33 10s, she had 16 5s, and 29 ones. She knew exactly how much money was in that house at all times. There you go. That's what it is. Right there. She knew how much money she was spending when she spent money out of it. Look where the money bag is. Look right here, guys. Look where the money bag is. And you're going to tell me that Gypsy did not go back in that room. Hang on a second. They asked her, did you go in the room? No, I did not. Liar, because look where the money bag is. That's where the money bag is. How did you get the money then? You went in there after the fact and you took the $5,000 out and y'all ran off. Let's be honest, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Let's be honest. There it is, in her mother's nightstand drawer. Not in her room, in her mother's room. That's where the money was kept. Okay, there's that. Look right here. Let me show you this for a minute. Now, this is full of adult diapers right here. That's what that is. Sorry, it's just diapers, okay? Now, keep going over here. Well, there's the little razor she used when she claimed that she was going to get raped. Nasty. Look at that mess. Look at that nastiness. God dang, Gypsy, you're so gross. You could have at least put it in the trash. Come on. Ugh. Mm-mm. Look at these tapes right here. These are tapes of Gypsy. I'm thinking they're tapes of her and her childhood is what I think they are. I think they're her mother's precious movies of when Gypsy was a child. A lot of parents have those. They save them, right? I know I do. Okay. Imagine. Look at the book there, the Imagine book. Okay, now now this is the medicine cabinet. Right here's the medicine cabinet. We know that. And the medicine cabinet didn't even lock. Look, they never finished putting the lock on it. Why? Why would she need to lock that medicine cabinet? Oh, that's right. Gypsy was stealing it. Gypsy was stealing that medicine. That's why she had to put a lock on it. But it was, okay, there it is. Look. Now this is a different thing that was locked. I wonder what that goes to. I don't know what that is, but it's a lock for something. It looks like a safety lock to keep little kids from going outside. That's what it kind of looked like. Your house is so dirty, you got to have a Purell hand sanitizer mounted on the wall. Or is that what you're telling us right there? That's craziness. But it was filthy. Look at it. It's right there in the bathroom. We didn't wash our hands. We just used Purell. Okay. Was there no hand towels? I guess not. Look at that. Boy. All right. Looks like somebody forgot to finish painting. Okay, let's get past that. Yes, there's that whole bag of diapers. There it is, adult diapers. Remember Gypsy telling us, all right, let's talk about this for a minute. Remember Gypsy telling us that when she went to the movie theater, she had a diaper on, right? Why'd she have a diaper on? We've also heard her say, my mother never weaned me from the bottle. What? You're 23 years old. You don't need a... You don't need somebody weaning you from a bottle. When children are tired of the bottle, they just throw it down. When they realize they can drink out of a cup, they don't really want it anymore. So see, what it doesn't make sense what she's saying about these things. There's her diapers. I wonder if she was wearing a diaper on the day that she went to the hotel with Nick. That's what I'd like to know. Yeah, I'd like to know that, wouldn't you? Just how far did she go with the diaper situation? I don't think her mother was wearing them, but I'm not sure. Apparently they were necessary because they're hanging in the bathroom. Just take a look at that. There you go. There they are. And we're back to her nasty ass room, filthy room. Oh boy. Look underneath that bed. She has so many things. Look at this. Look at this. These are the movies that they would do on movie night. Here's the movies right there. Movie after movie after movie. Yeah, there you go. Look at this. Very expensive Star Wars toys right there. Star Wars. Very expensive things right there. Mm-hmm. Just thrown down, whatever. That's a lot of movies, y'all. That's a lot. Okay. Keep on looking over here for a second. I'm not sure what all that is, and we'll just keep moving on from that. That's just stuff that's in her room, I guess, or toys or something. I don't really know. I don't know what that bag is, but anyway, some weird things right there. Okay, there's the closet. All right. Again, back to those. There's her precious shoes, never even worn. Look at the bottom of these shoes, guys. Look at the bottom of these shoes. Not one speck of dirt on these damn shoes. She never wore them. Why? Because she didn't need them. She just got some shoes because, it helped with the grift, right? Is that what's going on here? That's what I think. Now, let me go see if we can find those other things. Hang on a second. Oh, it just takes a while to get through all these because, there's so many of them, guys. There's so many of them. Okay, this is where they started using the dust on the places. They're looking for fingerprints right there. Look at all that. Look at all that. It was very violent, don't you think? I believe it was very violent. Poor Dee Dee. Gypsy, look what you did to your mother. Look what you had Nick and you did to your mother. I know you helped. Look at all of that. How did it all get down there? You tell me, Gypsy Rose, you tell me. How did he get there? Hmm? I believe these are just black because they were trying to use the illumination to see where the blood spatter went to. So, okay, there's a box cutter. Where's the piece of carpet? I don't know. Did they cut it out? Not sure. That picture was so important. It's just throw it over there in the corner. Right? All right. Here we go. Hmm. Now, we go down here. Here it is, right here. Let me show you this, guys. This is so interesting. Okay. This is their calendar. All right. It was on the wall. But look what it says here. Look. Jurassic World. They plan Inside Out. They plan on showing these movies, and I believe this is the month of June, isn't it? Let's see. Fewer fairies. I'm not seeing exactly. I don't think it shows us what month it is. Well, let's see if we can. But they were playing. Look, they showed these movies or that movies. What's going on here? How in the world? Let's go back. Let's see. The dates are marked out, right? The 7th. The 8th, they go to Kansas. They go to Kansas right here. But nothing happened afterwards because nothing's marked out on the calendar. Why? What happened between their trip to Kansas and here where she took her mother's life? What happened that week? Hmm? What happened to your mother where she could not do anything? Come on, Gypsy, go ahead and tell us. Right? And why did they go to Kansas? It wasn't your doctor they went to. I don't believe it was. I believe it was your mother's doctor they went to in Kansas. That's what I think. Poor Dee Dee. Look at your mother, Gypsy. Look at your mother. I hope let's talk about this for a minute. Gypsy Rose Blanchard said just the other day, what haunts me is my mom's last words. Well, how would you know what she said if you weren't in the room with her? Why don't you explain that to us, you liar? Because that's the only way you would know that. I don't believe she's over there screaming things. I don't believe that. I believe she was too weak to be doing all that. That's what I believe. Yeah, 100%. You can't, and you know what? You can't change my mind on that either. I don't think you can. Not after everything I've seen. There you go. Through the peg, shake this. You have to shake this up. There's the medicine for her seizures. hmm Why was she still getting seizure medicine? You want to tell us that, Gypsy? Can you explain that to us? What in the world is really going on here? Because what you said is not the truth. There's no way. It's just not the truth. Mm-mm. Okay, so we're going to keep coming down here. I'm looking for a couple of other things. Here we go. Now, look at this, guys. Come on, open up. You see, I know it's hard to see, but see the orange card right there that she pointed at? Those are not, that's not blood. That again is the pellet spots in the walls from her shooting at her mother. That's what all of these little spots are on these walls. Right there's another one right here. See this? Right there. I was trying to show it to you a while ago, but see that? Oh no, look, and that's going to be, okay, that is not the pellet spot. That is actually where she had something hanging up, I believe. Okay, that's one of those little peg things. That's what that one is. But the other ones are actually something else. And then this is outside. This is outside their house. Here we go. Such a pretty little house and such a pretty little yard and just messed up, hoarded up, torn up by Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Tell me why, Gypsy. Tell me why. Do you have any explanation for what you did? Any? Because if you do, please tell me what it is. I mean, look, there's just thousands of pictures, people. Thousands of them, I believe. So, see if there's anything. What I was trying to find is the picture. Ah, here we go. Look at this right here. Who was on oxygen? Who needed oxygen 24 hours a day? Who needed oxygen? It wasn't Gypsy Rose Blanchard, was it? No, Dee Dee. Dee Dee needed this oxygen. Dee Dee was very ill. This is another sign that shows you how ill Dee Dee actually was. How long, Gypsy? Tell us how long she was this ill. Why don't you go ahead and tell us? Why you got to lie to us? State of Missouri. Oh, there's the search warrant. Okay. This is for any and all evidence unknown. Okay. This is the actual search warrant from when they came to the house, when they were going to arrest her and all that. So here we go. There's the search warrant. I don't know if it shows all 3 pages, but what's this? This one is the inventory of property taken under authority of the search warrant. Okay. It's the keys to her car. Okay. All right. So that is the end of those pictures. Now, I'm going to undo this. Now, let's go back over here. Okay. Let me show you something else right quick. Hang on. All right. Now, I'm going to show you. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Hang on a second. Let me see if it's right over here. I think it might be over here. I'm not sure. No, it's not over there. All right, I'm trying to get to these videos because I want to show you something else, guys. Might be over here. Okay, that's Go to John, Gold Hammer. It's not him. Hang on. Go back over here. I want the ones of Gypsy. Hang on a second, guys. All right. Pull this up right quick. This is Stanfield. Have y'all listened to this one? Listen to this. This doesn't. Let me ask you all a question. Where did that story start? Who started that story about abuse? That's one thing I want to know. Because as you all know, it's all a lie. We've proved every bit of it to be a lie. Where's Melissa Moore now? Where's Stanfield now? Where are they? Oh, that's right. They don't come out. They're not going to address any of this. They are just like all the charities that they managed to that she managed to scam. Not one of those charities ever came forward to say, "Oh my God, we got scammed." They just want to brush it under the rug. They just want to let it go, which is the same thing that Stanfield and Melissa Moore is doing, right? Because no, they don't want to admit that they were taken advantage of. They don't want to admit that it was all a lie. See, they don't want to admit that, right? We all know it's all a lie. And the thing, what makes me sick about this is I want to know why none of these people, why nobody, none of them will come out and say, oh, we made a mistake. Not one. Why not? Tell me why. I'd like to know why. Why can't they say, okay, we see now it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Now this is Dominique. I don't know who Dominique is, and I think we listened to these the other day because there's a bunch of these. But what's this one? Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah, we heard this one. Was in her. Hmm. You heard that right? Because she was sick. She was very ill. She might have been yelling in the house to try to get Gypsy to come help her. You ever stop and think about that? Did anybody ever stop and think that she was being ignored and needed help and Gypsy was doing nothing for her and she was yelling for her daughter to come help her? Maybe Gypsy was tired of hearing her mother holler, come help me, come help me. After all the times she helped you. We do know when you have those the problems that Gypsy Rose had, that you're going to have other things. There's little telltale signs: small head. You can have other medical conditions, seizures, those kind of things. And we know that they were there in her case. We saw them. We heard about them. They're in the medical records. It's all real. Okay? So her chromosome, her deletion is what caused her teeth problems. It's caused a lot of her problems. But remember, they did not figure that out until 2011. And promptly in 2011, all of these visits to doctors, etc., stopped. But what didn't stop was the fact that Dee Dee was continually to go downhill. That Dee Dee was continually, she's ill. We're talking about 2012 to 2013, 2014, and finally 2015. Think about that. Think about what we just learned about after looking at all the pictures and realizing that what was actually going on in that house was something else. It really wasn't that Gypsy was being abused. It's that Gypsy was now abusing her mother, who was too sick to take care of herself. That is what I see. That's what I see happening. Yes, they did go to Disney. I understand that. They did manage to go to Disney, but even Gypsy said, "Oh, but when we were at Gypsy, we could only be there a few hours and then we had to go rest." Remember that? Because her mother was sick. That is why. I wish I could find her discussion on that. Let's see if we can find that over here. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm going to go see if I can find that discussion that she had on YouTube where she talked about, well, yeah, we went to Disney, but we could only play for a few hours and then we have to go back to the hotel, and then we just come back later. I want to know about that. Let's see. Gypsy explains Disney. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find anything on that. Here we go. What? Gypsy Rose Blanchard banned from Disney? Is she? I don't know. I wish she was. She should be. Hang on. Let's see if we can find this, guys. A lot of these things are just so informative, and some people have such an imagination, and I like watching other people's coverage on Gypsy Rose. Let's see. Okay, hang on a second. Let's find if we can see where she talks about um, when they went to Disney and how tired that they were and that she had to go rest. Okay, I'm not really seeing that over here, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if there's any of the videos that she can explain Disney. Okay. Well, I don't really see it. I don't see anything just right off the bat, but I know that there was a conversation. Well, let's go over here. Well, that's about to die. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up over here. But there was a conversation on one of these channels where she was talking to somebody. It was an interview of some sort. She was talking about, but she was talking about when they would go to Disney, and that oh, was it her police interview? I think it was her police interview. Hang on a minute. Let's pull it up over here. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Gypsy's police interview. I believe it was that. Hang on. Hang on a minute. All right, here we go. Let's see. It might have been this right here. So who is this? Let's see. This is who do we want to use? We use this one. This is part of Into the Weeds. Now let's listen and see if we can find it over here. She tells us what happened at Disney. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to move past it so we can get to the point where she's talking about Disney. Oh, well, she's so worried about what happened, isn't she? Just laying up there sleeping. Okay. That face right there. I want y'all to pay attention to that face. Wish they'd hurry up and let me get out of here. I'm ready to go home now. I'm done with this. That's what she's thinking. Let's see if we can find that spot where she's talking about Disney.
I was on some medications, but whenever I left home, I kind of left all my medications behind.
So you're on many more medications?
Right, yeah.
Because originally you only told me you were on the one.
Right, but I only brought the one. Well, I didn't bring any with me except for the pain one. But at my house back in Missouri, my mom always kept a full stock closet of all the medicines that I was on. But I didn't exactly take them with me.
Okay. Do you know what the names of all your medications were?
She knows them. If I can just call her.
Okay, we'll get that all taken care of in a little while. Did you know, other than the Capra and this other medication, did you know any of the other ones you were taking?
To be perfectly honest, she always took good care of me, so I never really bothered to ask. I just took my medicine like I was supposed to.
All right. Are you doing good right now? You need any water? Or
some water would be nice.
Okay, so why don't you step on out here?
Did you hear that?
Do you need to use?
Did you hear that? My medications, and I left the house without them. She's going back to her, she's going to go back and, oh gosh, I need my medication. I'm so sick. I'm so sick. Well, I don't know the name, but can I call her? You know damn good and well your mother's deceased, bitch. You know she is. Can I call her and find out? I don't know the names of them. Give me a break. Are you kidding me? Did you hear that lie? I don't know if y'all noticed that before, but can we call her? God almighty, please. You better put your wading boots on because the shit's going to get real deep in here when you keep listening to some more of these lies.
Is the restroom at all?
No, sir.
That's 61. Was it? Or we just check the hallway first?
Okay, let's get past that right there. Back to where she's back. She's back in there. Right. Call her. Can we call her?
But you take the Duvera inhaler. That's the one you take every day.
Right.
Is it once a day, twice a day?
I think it's one puff a day.
One puff a day.
Did you remember all the boxes of the inhalers we saw in that cabinet? She had inhalers, and she had many, many bottles of her seizure medicine that was prescribed to Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Okay. Any other medical conditions that you have that you're taking medications for? Or is that pretty much?
That should be it, you know.
Okay. All right.
Asthma and asthma is pretty much the biggest one, and the seizure disorder is the biggest one.
Okay.
Boom, right there. And the seizure disorder. She was taking the seizure medications and she needed them, didn't she? Here we go.
Off that Duvera inhaler for more than a day or two, do you start having issues with your breathing?
It depends on what my triggers are, and usually if it's stress, I might have an asthma attack. If it's
You've got to take me to the hospital. I might have an asthma attack. I'm getting stressed because stress causes me to not be able to breathe. See, you see what she's doing right there, right? She wants to leave the jail, but or she don't. Well, she wants to get out of the interview room. Let's just go to the hospital because that's what she does in order to get out of things. Let's just go to the hospital. Here we go.
something like seasonal allergies, I might have an attack. It just kind of depends, but I've been trying to keep calm.
Okay, does the air conditioning help with it?
It does.
Okay, all right, well, that's good to know then, okay? Well, thank you very much, I appreciate your service. All right, you just relax.
Mm-hmm. Okay, hang on a second here. I want to get to the point where the lady comes in the room, or when they come in there and they start talking to her. And the next little lie that she does with her medical garbage. It might, okay, here we go. Hang on a minute. Here we go. Hang on.
Hey,
And
how are
when
you?
she starts talking about Disney.
I'm gonna take you up to the hospital, but I gotta ask you to stand up, please.
See, right there, right there. I need to go to the hospital. I didn't take any of my medicine with me. And yes, stress makes me sick. Yeah, when I'm stressed out, I have asthma attacks and, I don't have my seizure medicine. Did you catch all that? Why don't you just call her and ask her? Are you, oh my God. I did not pay attention to this before. I did not catch this before. But remember all the medicines in that medicine cabinet. Here we go.
Get you looked at. Can you turn around, put your arms out?
Here's my feeding tube. I got a feeding tube over there.
Me one. They're grasping for straw, says we are. Hand in on?
So you rush off on the road.
No, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the right time.
Okay. She's been fine.
Okay.
How's it feel to be locked up for real, bitch? How's it feel to be in handcuffs for real?
Go get you
Uh-huh.
checked out at the doctor real quick. Get you back on that med.
Get you back on that medicine that you so deeply need, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. You liar. You damn liar. Oh my God, that makes me so mad. All right. I think there's a second. Let me find the second one of these. Hang on a minute. Here, I think it might be right here, disc 2. Well, let's look at this one for a second. Hang on. Thank you again, Into the Weeds. We really do appreciate you sharing all of this with us. Okay, she's like, now she's got a blanket. She's back from the hospital, I guess. They got her some food. Here we go. I'm waiting on the guys to come back in there.
Here, okay.
Okay, hang on a second now. Here we go. Just watch this for a minute and listen carefully to what she's saying whenever she starts talking to this police officer. Well, I guess I could make it bigger, silly me. Come on. I don't want to mess it up again. There you go. Let's see. There you go.
Picture.
Okay, he's fixing to come in. There we go. He's fixing to come in, and just listen carefully to what she's saying to him. As she starts her little lie over again about being sick and not knowing how old she is. This will be fun.
Sorry to have to wake you up. Talk to your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of stuff you're leaving out, girl.
Like what?
Well, I'm not gonna get into it with you, okay? You're leaving a lot of stuff out that you need to probably tell me. Do you want to talk to me about it? Tell me about it.
Sure, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
You planned this with him, okay? You didn't get locked in the bathroom, okay? I'm not stupid.
I know.
First of all, the lock's on this side.
Wait a minute. You didn't get locked in the bathroom. I'm not stupid. She just said, I know. She just admitted it right there. She was not in the bathroom. Thank you. Here we go.
You can't get locked in there. Okay, you went in there because you brought that knife into the picture. You brought the idea into the picture.
I didn't bring the idea.
Oh, liar. We heard you in court. We heard the whole thing. You lying piece of shit.
You did bring it into. You brought the whole thing in the idea.
No.
And he did it for you.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did, Gypsy. Quit lying.
He did. Okay. So the lies, they're done. I'm not gonna sit in here all night long.
No,
doing
I
this
won't
with
give you. I won't give you like. I did not think of this.
Really? Because this is the third person. You tried it yourself, you asked somebody else, and now Nick did it.
I know that he has a evil side, and he
He has an evil side. Well, what is Demona? What is Ruby? What are all these other evil sides you have? Come on, Gypsy. Ugh.
did want to do it.
Okay, I understand.
He did want to do it. God.
Yeah, I understand that.
He wanted to get rid of my mom.
Yeah, for you.
No, you wanted your mom gone. You wanted your mom gone. Quit blaming him.
Yes, for me.
Yeah, because you asked him to.
He wanted to.
Yeah, because
and
you asked him to. Plain and simple.
we.
Gypsy.
Tell
We're
the
not playing
truth.
this game, okay? You asked him to. That's why he did it. Okay? Plain and simple. We're not playing this game. I'm not going to spend all my night long listening to your lies anymore. You told me the truth on some things, but you left a lot of stuff out. You left a lot of stuff out. So we're not playing this game, okay? He's already told me everything.
She just said, I know, I know. But yet she comes out there and writes a book that is complete BS and full of lies. Wow.
Everything.
We're both trying
The
to.
knife was mailed. You
What?
guys mailed it here, okay? We know where the knife's at. So the gig's up. You're done. It's up. You're done. You're done. You hated your mom.
I did not hate my mom. I did not hate my mom. I
Yeah, you
loved my mom, and he.
I loved my mom. Should I go back and pull up the picture of what you did to her and the house that was provided for you guys? Should we go show that picture to the rest of the world to get it straight about how you really felt, Gypsy?
You would have never done this to your mom.
He needs to tell you that I honestly have been having horrible, and I didn't want to do it, and he said that.
Whoa. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it, Gypsy. You wanted to do it.
He would commit suicide if we didn't.
Yeah.
Did he tell you that?
Yep.
I said that it was a bad thought that I was thinking, and yeah,
No.
I don't think that we should be doing this.
A lot of people think about stuff, but when you act, that's when you cross the line. And that's what you've done. You acted upon it, and he acted upon it. So, okay? We're done. You're obviously
Plain and
gonna
simple.
tell me lies.
I'm
so
not-
gonna say
I'm not
talk to you
sure.
about it.
I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Now you're going to be booked in for, later on down the line, you're going to be booked in for probably murder, okay? As long as, and with him as well, okay? All
I
right?
didn't murder my mom. So
I did murder my mom, sir. Yes, you did. You planned it. You provided everything. You even paid the money to get him to your home. What? Oh my God. And let's talk about the wounds. Let's talk about that house. And let's talk about how that bedroom looked and how much blood was in that house. When he was supposedly only 4 times, Gypsy, he said 4 times. but I believe there were 17. Who did the other ones? Who did the other ones, Gypsy? Was somebody else there? Remember, I showed y'all there was all in the grass. There's tire marks where somebody else was there. There was a cigarette butt thrown down in the driveway, but yet they don't smoke. Where did that come from? Did Dan Gladwell smoke? Because I think he did. Come on, Gypsy, what is it?
Listen to me. Listen to me. You did because you're behind it. You pulled all the strings on it,
I did.
and you're behind it.
I
I'm
did.
not, listen, Gypsy. I'm not gonna sit and argue with you about it. Okay?
All I wanted was
So-
come and get me.
No, that's not
No.
what you wanted. There's a lot more to this whole story that you're leaving out. I'm not gonna play the sympathetic game. I'm not like that. Okay? I can see right through it. Okay?
Please, I'm not able to be in jail. I have a lot of.
Please, I'm not able to be in jail. I have a lot of medical conditions. Really? Because you didn't need that medicine when you left the house, did you, Gypsy? Uh-huh. Listen to what she tells him.
medical
I
needs.
understand that, and they'll get taken care of. Okay? So sit tight.
Okay, be in jail. How does it feel? Wow, bet that was shocking to her. Let's watch her face. Uh-oh. It wasn't supposed to come down like this. He told on us. He told the truth. What you gonna do now? That's right. Hang that head in shame. I think it's very interesting to watch this part. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm just going to be off here a few minutes. I had to restart my stream. I had issues. It pissed me off so bad, messed up my show, but whatever. We made it. I made it through it. But I mean, after looking at all the pictures of the house, seeing all the things we've seen, now we know what the absolute truth was about what happened at that house. That's what we know. Her mother was extremely ill. She didn't want to deal with it. Here we go. Let's watch her face. You gonna pout now, Gypsy? Notice not one tear. Not one tear. She's not crying. She's not doing anything. She's just sitting there because she got caught. The guilt of I got caught. I'm not leaving here and going home. I'm not going back to my house in Missouri. Uh-oh. This wasn't supposed to happen this way.
I want a lawyer.
Oh, it's too late now.
Please, sir. Sir.
Oh, now we're going to cry a little bit. I
I
want
want
a
a
lawyer.
lawyer. Please, I need a lawyer.
Okay, have a seat.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to take that TikTok video that she made where she made the, and started, joking about what she did to her mother because it's not funny. And I'd like to play it alongside this right here and show you that, yeah, she was not serious. She's not serious about it now. She didn't care about it then. She don't care about it now, and she didn't care about it then. Look at these pictures right here. I want a lawyer. It's too late now. You already told the whole story, Gypsy. He told the whole story. He was honest. You are not. Oh, you know what that is? She just took her teeth out of her mouth right there. Uh-oh. They need to feel sorry for me.
I did not.
You did too. if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the clothes that she was wearing when she went to on the bus ride. I believe she never took a shower at his house. She never changed clothes because that's how she lived. You saw that house. You saw she didn't care about nothing. You saw they didn't clean up. She didn't clean up nothing. Clothes just thrown everywhere. She didn't care. There you go. See what happens. Do they come back? Let me see if they come back in there. I just want to catch her face while she sits there and realizes she's not going home. She's not going home again until, oh, I don't know. You crying for yourself? I need some help. I need help.
I didn't do this.
I need some help. I didn't do this. Really, you did. I mean, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you should be ashamed of yourself to be. Honestly, she should be ashamed of herself. I'll tell you that. She should be. Oh, but that's right. Sociopaths don't know shame. They don't have any of the feelings we have. They only feel for themselves. Isn't that right, Gypsy? Because that's what's going on here. Here we go. Let's keep watching her little face. Hmm.
I didn't do this.
Is this where she gets her head down there to listen under the door? That's another thing she does. Let's see. Let's see if this is where she does that. Let's see right here. Yeah. Well, hold on. What's she going to do next? Okay.
Be right with you, okay? We'll let you know what's going on. Okay, he actually stepped out right now, so if you just want to hold that, and when he comes back, we'll be able to, okay?
Hold on, Gypsy. Hold on. She's going to put her teeth back in, but remember, I want a lawyer. I want a lawyer. Now you can't talk to him because you've told him you want to talk to you want a lawyer, so he cannot talk to you anymore. You missed every opportunity that you had to be honest with him. Here we go. Come on, let's get pitiful. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Okay. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up moving from this room.
Hang on a second here. What is she doing there? All right. Now he comes back in here. Somebody comes in here. Let's see what did they say to her. Oh, looky there. Look at her. Down on the floor, gonna listen to what's going on out there because she needs to know. Let's look at her. Boy, that's just real attractive, isn't it? How about that, Gypsy? Have you got socks on, or is that just dirty ass feet that you had in those boots? That's very attractive. Look, Ken Urker, this is the mother of your child right here. Pay attention. Pay close attention.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just nosy. crocodile tears. There she goes again. Oh, there you go. Take a close look. There she is. Look at her. There you go. Wow, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Do I need to pull those other pictures back up? Because I think I do. Here we go. Better hurry up. They're going to hit you with a door. Doesn't this look exactly like something an 8, 9, or 10-year-old would do? It does, doesn't it? Yeah. She's sucking her thumb at the same time. That would be a riot, wouldn't it? Let's see. Did he come back in there?
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to end up moving you from this room here. And for the night, we're going to put you up in a spot up in the jail. But it'll be probably about another 5 minutes, and then I'll walk you up.
You got your spot in the jail ready.
Stay comfortable for a couple minutes, and I'll get you up there.
Go start having fun in the jail. I'll meet some new people. Let's see. When does he come back in there? Did you say anything? Dun, dun, dun. And you never see or touch Nick again. Right here it is. Right here. This is it. They let her take the blanket to jail with her. I always wondered about that too. Here we go. Let's see. Has he come back in there yet? Here we go. Let's see. This is almost over right here. Look, not crying, not upset, nothing. Just waiting because she knows she's going to have to go to jail in just a minute. Yeah. Here we go. They got her room ready just like it's a hotel room or a hospital room. It's ready to go. Let me see if I can. I don't want to go too far, but let me see if it'll let me show you that. Here we go. Where is it? Be right there. All right, yeah, they're coming together.
We are ready to head up. What we're going to do is we're kind of be in the jail facility. We're going to wait there for a while, and investigators will probably talk to you again in the morning, but at least this gives you an opportunity to probably get something to eat and get some regular sleep, okay? So, yeah. If you
We're going to go change clothes, and we're going to strip search you.
Okay, just turn face away and put your hands behind your back.
I'm assuming, does she then search it? Yeah. You got some tiny needles or here, so I'm just making sure that.
Yeah, isn't that special? It is special, isn't it? And just for the fun of it, let's go back over here and get rid of that. Go back over here for a second. We're going to end this stream with something kind of, I just want y'all to be aware, for all of you people who don't want to believe the truth, who still want to protect her and act like she was abused, that she was abused. Honey, she was never abused. Get that through your damn thick head. She was not abused. None. So let's go ahead and take a second look at the crime scene. All right? Let's take a second look over here about how abused she was. Okay. Come on down. Let's see. I'm not going to show those. Well, I'm not, okay, I'm going to quickly show something. I don't think I showed this a while ago. Remember I talked about the ties out in the yard? Here's some more of those ties where somebody was tied to a bed. I believe Dee Dee's hands were tied behind her back at one point. I believe they took them off before they left. That's what I believe. Doesn't really matter what I think, but that's just kind of what I think. Because why are they there and why are they bloody? Please tell me that, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Did you remember Nick goes out to the car and she's in the house for about another 45 minutes? Did she go in that room to get that $5,000 and to remove the ties off her mother's hands? Did she go in the room and do that? What do y'all think? Because I think she did. I think she did. So we'll go ahead and we'll just end our stream looking at this right here, this hoarded up nasty house. You're going to tell me, okay, oh, get off of there. I got to share the screen, right? Oh, hello. I forgot to share the screen, didn't I? All right, hang on a second. Let me get this screen shared the right way. All right, we're going to end it with this right here. Share the screen, and it's going to be, all right, there. So take a good look. Take a good look. This is actually Dee Dee's room. You tell me how in the hell Dee Dee managed to get around that house and do anything in the condition that it was in. She didn't. Dee Dee was extremely ill. Gypsy was not taking care of her. Gypsy no longer cared. Gypsy just wanted out. She just wanted out of the situation. She wasn't going to stay there and help her mother. She said in her own words, well, if I'm there, I'll be another 20 years before I can get out of there. What are you talking about? Yeah, because your mother was that ill. So we're going to leave it with that. Thank you for stopping by. If you get a chance, please hit that like button on your way in or your way out, whatever you want to do. Sorry my stream got messed up and had to restart it, not once, but twice, because we're having some kind of issues over here between StreamYard, the internet, and YouTube, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful afternoon. Please take care of yourself. Be careful out there. Go hug your babies. Life is short, and our time with them is even shorter. So, with that, I'm going to leave you for the day. Have a good day, guys. Thanks again.